advantages accumulated in the pre-qualifiers. Let's see how it all shakes out with Garakuta, the first attacker.
Using the Queen Charge Lava Loon. Now, if we cast our minds back to that first war, remember his Queen got drawn in towards the enemy Lava Hound, and he had to fix the attack on the fly. Wasn't quite able to get the 3-star, but I have to commend how well he was able to control it, and you could see the coordination from the player cam as well. For this one, though, he has the Archer Queen across to that right side of the base. Meanwhile, the Battle Blim diving into the left with the balloons, making sure he's very careful on what is lured from that clan castle.
Now, despite seeing a lot of Dragon Riders from the previous war, Garakuta had told us that the Queen Charge Dragon Rider is his favorite attack strategy. He's able to repair even on the fly, so you got to expect that as the first attacker in this war. Once again, he has had a lot of time to think about how to attack this base, and has really decided that he has an easy inroad here for Queen Charge Lava Hound. You know, he didn't have the most amount of time. I won't expect a beautiful plan set up, but I think he really does have a good funnel set up here for this Queen Charge along the top corner, only having to face off against an enemy scatter shot, and with the ability to use against the enemy Royal Champion as well, this is going to be an easy strike.
Well, the Lava Hound from the Clan Castle has now been lured, but the Royal Champion has pretty much got everything that is needed, so it's not that big of a deal right now. He's got the Archer that he could pull it to the side of the map if needed at the end of the attack, but at this stage, the Archer Queen still has the healers and a freeze spell that he can be very flexible with, just waiting on these final couple of balloons, making sure the Wizard Tower goes down, and once it does, there we go with the extra balloons to the left-hand side. Still has 1 minute remaining, and this attack went exactly as he planned. No need to adjust, just do exactly what was on the board. And there you go, 3 stars for Aphelion starting out. MCES have to respond.
This is a savage crushing and exactly what you would hope for as an Aphelion player. Garakuta having so much extra time and all the troops in the world. This base was not well prepared to defend against this sort of attack. And although I don't think Garakuta, surprised anyone with a 3-star there, he did improve on his previous war's performance, and he showed that MCES bases can be crushed, that there are some weaknesses here that they're ready to take advantage of and try to take him down with. So good start for Aphelion Esports. I'm still thinking that MCES is tipped in the favor here, but my confidence is starting to shake a little bit here. How about you?
Well, there's still plenty of attacks to go, isn't there? But I did say that MCES have a couple of players, Remio, I actually missed off the list when we were talking about this, that really like the Lava Loon attack. So I would have expected they do have bases to defend. We have Kingsman attacking, who normally we have been seeing use the Queen Charge into hybrid. He does normally like to break into an Eagle compartment whenever we see him use this attack. So it's not the type of base that we would typically see a hybrid, hence why he's using the Dragon Riders. This actually looks like a base that you could have expected a Blizzard, potentially from Arium, but Kingsman fancies his chances.
Showing up in style with a branded backdrop. It's going to be a Queen Charge poke in the right corner. Hasn't committed those healers yet, so might see some balloons creeping on in to try to check for seeking air mines. Interesting invisibility there to ensure that the Queen goes into that compartment. She's still going to be pathing a little bit awkwardly along the bottom edge, taking a lot of damage down, requiring that rage spell, not catching any seeking air mines yet, and that's not necessarily good news here. Kingsman wants those balloons to go down to black bombs, otherwise it's going to be Dragon Riders soaking that big damage.
Yeah, he is hoping to soak as many black bombs as possible, but so far he's got very good control of this Archer Queen, and the wall break will allow her right into the center of the base. Using a couple of minions to try and take out these trash buildings, it wouldn't steer the Queen off course, but it would just slow her down if she had to go and take that out. But the Clan Castle troops are lured, so she's going to be locked onto those troops and then walk into the center of the base with the ability still intact alongside multiple spells, looking like she should be able to get that town hall and allow the Dragon Riders to not have to go over that main area.
This is just a perilously slow invasion, though, for Kingsman. He started off with first half of the attack, only grabbing a quarter of the base, will have to go very, very quickly, and he's only got rage spells to do it with. Another one committed to the queen again, and these Dragon Riders are really going to have to go the distance, a long slog through this base. He's got a really safe queen charge, though, right there in the center. Even though she pops that tornado, she'll get invised again just to keep her safe through all of this damage coming on in from that poison. And the last and final rage is out. Dragon Riders are creeping along the top edge, and with the Stone Slammer soaking a big black bomb there, it looks like they are going to be cleared for landing along the bottom side of the base, still facing off against an air defense at the bottom side, but with protection from that Grand Warden, I think that they might just be able to finish it off. Is time going to be a question here, or do you think that they've got it easy?
No, I think he's got this, actually. The Dragon Riders soaked 4 black air bombs whilst under the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome, so they were fine. And then the Stone Slammer soaked a whole bunch more. Kingsman played this perfectly. The Archer Queen in the center of the base, so well controlled. And you thought the opening attack from Aphelion was impressive, but MCES showing that they are not going to let that impact them. They are charging on forward with their own 3-star, and this war is as competitive as we expected.
Well, with a 54% qualifying hit rate there, that might have been the scariest start for MCES to send in their lowest hit rate attacker. But Kingsman grabbing the triple is a shot in the arm for this French team now. Their high hopes are surging even further. They're still all tied up, 3 to 3 stars between these two teams, but with the opening salvo, with the lowest hit rate attacker from MCES, and Garakuta, the highest hit rate attacker from Aphelion Esports, the resources that remain for the Japanese team are kind of dwindling now at this point, Judo.
I would say that I think these stats there are from when MCES played many months ago, and actually in the ESL Mobile tournament most recently, Kingsman was MCES's highest hitter, so maybe they have both put them up right at the start. Kingsman does tend to go first for MCES. They tend to have a bit of a set order, but let's shift our focus back to Aphelion, who are using the Dragon Riders. You mentioned this at the start of the war, that they favored it in the first one. They had pretty good success with it, getting the 13 stars overall. So let's see what they've got this time.
Poking and prodding, another slow start for the queen charge, but this compartment that scares me most is the single target Inferno deep within these layers of walls. Shoya's got to be very careful about cracking through and avoiding the big damage that stacks up there. He does have one invisibility spell and a couple of freezes, but as the queen paths towards now down to the bottom of the base, it's going to be up to the king to get that first star from the town hall.
Well, he should be relatively safe, particularly with that ability. And the Archer Queen has the funnel set to the very southern area of the base. So she will walk into this compartment, all looking pretty composed at the moment. I'm just trying to think about what he's planning for that single target Inferno, or whether he's just trying to dodge it completely. We'll have to find out what he has in store for that, but Clan Castle troops are lured by the Barbarian King, so he's got to be ready as they will start moving across to his queen.
Yeah, the pathing can get really awkward on the backside if he leaves that single target Inferno for the final stage of this hit. He's going to have to keep his fingers crossed that they can go quickly enough through the final round of defenses there. It looks like with the Stone Slammer and Dragon Riders coming in from the bottom right side, only a minute and 12 to get both of the 2 remaining stars. He's got a couple of rage spells and an invis to try to protect from that single Inferno, but I am really worried about this plan so far.
Yeah, he's not got a lot of time. That is the main factor for me. He's got the jump spell whereby the Archer Queen could actually reach that single target Inferno, and I think that's the plan. Push the Dragon Riders in quick enough to force the Queen over there. It does turn her invisible. Dragon Riders will help out, and thankfully, he has been able to soak most of the air bombs in the center unscathed. You see a couple of them now hitting the Dragon Riders.
Okay.
But check this out, Woody. He's still got the hero abilities. He's actually got 30 seconds. What has happened in the last 30 seconds of this attack? How has he done this?
Brilliant spread for these Dragon Riders, which otherwise really kind of want to be concentrated in their firepower on defenses that are presenting the greatest threat. But I guess because he had enough stacked on the single target Inferno down toward the bottom, and there weren't really any big worrisome defenses toward the top, it was fine to get a bit of a spread and allow himself to spend more time in the early stage of the strike to get that set up. With 21 seconds still on the clock at the end of the hit, it actually turned out to be a lightning fast finish for Shoya.
I am shocked as to how quick that went. I know the Dragon Riders seem slow, but actually we do often see them coming in late in the attack, but I don't think I've ever seen them take down that much of a base left up that quickly. Like you said, over 20 seconds remaining, which just puts the pressure even greater onto MCES. It is a Lava Loon attack. It's Remio, one of the players I pointed out, starting with the Lightning and Earthquake to take down the Eagle Artillery, one of the Inferno towers. But importantly as well, we always talk about this, but the Lightning can create funneling as well. Just noticing he's also got the Archer Queen in that area, so really good value from those Lightnings.
Strong striking. He's racking it up with an Ice Hound deployed here, shutting down defenses as well with an Ice Golem on the entry point for this Archer Queen up top. No healers to back her up, so it's all going to be about a Sui dive, trying to get as much damage off this top compartment as they can, and air defense up there, and a second one down there at that 4 o'clock position. Both really great targets for Remio to gather. He's got basically an anti-2-star base that he's going up against now, with the Town Hall protected deep within the interior. So as long as he's able to finish that off, he should be cleared for landing on the 3-star toward the end. This Queen's going to get a little bit of awkward pathing, though. Goes to the left instead of to the right. That's going to be a pop of the ability, and it's not really going to go for what it seems like is going to be the highest value target. Remio's going to leave up an air defense in the bottom right corner and the scatter shot in the top side. 2 concentrated air defenses out on the left lane as well are going to be a tricky follow-up for him.
I think the scatter shot at the very north is his main concern. He does have the Battle Blimp to try and push in towards the Town Hall and fly the Lava Loon around, but he definitely didn't want that scatter shot left up at the top, because you can see the Lava Loon kind of starting from the bottom of the base. That means he's going to hit that splash damage right at the end. So not exactly what happens here, but it is going to be a dangerous finish.
He even misses the Tesla out on the right corner, and that's going to be a lot of time wasted now if he does wind up trying to go clean that up at the end. He's only got a minute and still half the base remains. This is awful. He's got the multi-target Inferno to deal with on the left side and no breeze to shut it down. The balloons are just going pop, pop, pop. Remio has been demolished. This attack is going nowhere fast.
Wow, the percentage is going to be super low as well. The balloons got caught in the tornado trap at the end to rub salt in the wounds and really push them into the poison spell. It will be up into the 70s, but it will struggle to even hit the 78%, I think, that Aphelion in the first war when they had that mishap, meaning that Aphelion have a huge advantage now. They could even get the 2-star and a relatively low percentage in terms of what we typically see and still be in the lead. But fortunately for MCES, this has happened earlier on in the war, which means they've still got multiple attacks to try and catch up.
Nonetheless, this is a crushing collapse of the hopes for the French soldiers. Remio with a 2-star, 75%, has now come in lower than any of the 5 attackers from Aphelion Esports in their prior war. The lowest one that we saw there was a 2-star, 82%. So, like you mentioned, even if we do see a slip up from Aphelion, they will likely hold a percentage lead on account of that lower hit. So, this really, you have to put an exclamation point at the end of this attack, because the defenses here were just incredible. I called it an anti-2-star design, but it was really well positioned, especially with the scatter shot of the top side of the base, to prevent the triple. Multi-target Infernos and scatters just really crushing balloons left and right. And I wonder if maybe P.E.K.K.A. Smash could have been a better approach for this base, or was there something else that he could have done with the attack that he brought?
I mean, P.E.K.K.A. Smash does work against the ring bases, particularly if you can charge the Queen to the Town Hall, but I think the start of the attack went wrong in terms of missing that scatter shot at the top, and then it kind of just knocked him from there, but the Lala also didn't get near as far as what he had thought. I do think it's interesting that Aphelion have thrown up 2 of the ring anti-2-star style bases now, so seems to be the play they are going for against MCES. Let's see if that continues. They are going to want to continue putting 3 stars on the board themselves, and it is going to be the P.E.K.K.A. smash that we see in this next attack.
Glad to see it returning to the battlefield. Not very many P.E.K.K.A. smashes used so far in the prior 2 wars today, but the ground game is very effective when someone has spent too much of their resources trying to block off against those Queen Charge Dragon Riders, maybe the most popular attack in the meta right now, as well as the Lava Hound hits, which are also extremely prevalent. So CEO on the top corner with the Warden Walk. Slow start, but there has been no problem at all for time so far for Aphelion Esports. Sniping at Scattershot is a super high value target to grab, and he's ready to follow up now with the Queen and the rest of the army.
P.E.K.K.A. Smash is SIO's favorite attack strategy, so sticking to what he knows best. Likes to drink tea for his pre-game ritual, so I'm sure he's had plenty of that during the interim we had there. And it is a little bit of a slow start here. He has used the Archer Queen to help with the pulling the Grand Warden across, but the Expo was on the Grand Warden, so you see the ability already used. This is a huge problem for him, because he hasn't even started the smash, and he doesn't have that Warden ability for the middle of the base.
He's holding on to that log launcher and jump spell to try to hurdle over these hills, but the funneling is going to be real awkward with 2 tiny compartments on the bottom side and 1 tiny one on the top left as well. Need to either fly over or shoot above those walls, otherwise this is going to be a timeout for Sayo.
He is continuing to push from that right-hand side, feels confident of at least getting the Town Hall, which can be risky when you're entering from the opposite side and you don't have that Warden ability. But notice he hasn't deployed the Royal Champion just yet. Presumably she will be deployed from the 6 o'clock area if he's going all out for the 3. But what is he planning as a backup here? P.E.K.K.A. are going down into that 6 o'clock area. He's not got anything taking out the rocket balloons in the center, and he's only got 30 seconds left, Woody, to get across to this Town Hall.
Oh no, the funneling has just not gone in his favor. He does have the jump spell to hop from that bottom compartment back up toward the Town Hall, but the rage is out. He has just got to cross his fingers now and hope that they can get in there as quickly as possible. The Giga Inferno is going to start to burn them up. They're a bit distracted over there. Bombs going off all over the place. A skeleton trap to slow and distract even more. Are they going to finally get the lock on there? Firing away with the Archer Queen. The ability takes the Town Hall down with 9 seconds left. Sayo is going to get the 2-star after all, but I can see the beads of sweat already forming on his forehead. Wipe them away, because although you got the win there, it was not the decisive one that would have kept Aphelion in a comfortable lead. Instead now, with a 2-star 89%, they can be happy about that advantage, but this is going to give an opening now for Aphelion to try to creep back in. Excuse me, for MCES to creep back in.
Indeed, it was not what he intended. Cutting it close towards the end, but at least he did get that Town Hall down. Like you said, keeping the percentage higher, so MCES can tie it up on stars, but they would be behind on percentage. However, it definitely closes the gap massively for MCES, and Itsu did mention in that little interview section how it can really turn the tides when a 3-star doesn't come in and hit the team mentally. Let's see if that's the case, but check this out. Aphelion again using one of the anti-2-star ring-style bases against MCES. Maybe they're just thinking that these bases haven't been used in a while, so will MCES be able to take them down? Try hard using the Super Witches for this one.
Yeah, another less popular strategy, harkening back to a more noble age. The Super Witches first saw their deployment in the Clash of Clans World Championship. I believe it was it Tribe Gaming who brought them to prominence a few years back when they were first released?
It was, and I believe they left it as their secret weapon as well when they were knocked down into the lower bracket. I'm actually just looking at Tryhard's camera, and he has the check from 2019 when they placed third in the... second, sorry. They were vice world champions, weren't they? So really wanting to use that as a motivating factor for this one, but they find themselves in a tricky position, don't they? And Tryhard knows how it feels in this situation.
It's actually going to double P.E.K.K.A out the right side with that Siege Barrack, sending one in right alongside with it. Tryhard is going to have kind of a hybrid army here now with the healers to boost up the Archer Queen, as well as two P.E.K.K.As out in front of the Super Witches. He is actually, I don't even know how he got all the army camp space to make this sort of attack happen, but nonetheless, hopping over the walls into the interior compartment, this is pretty much an ideal base to strike with P.E.K.K.As and Super Witches, because there's such a big area right in the center with just multi-target Infernos burning up. It's a lot of damage, but the healers are going to be able to hop back over and help out as well. All spells has been used, so he's really going to cross his fingers right now and pray, because just one archer is the only thing left in this army camp.
Oh, I think this is going to be another low percentage 2-star, actually, because the Archer Queen went down towards the bottom of the base. Thankfully, the Super Witches make it through the Town Hall, because it was looking a little bit sketchy there for a moment, but they're right inside the poison, and he doesn't have anything else to reinforce. What a play this has been by Aphelion. These bases are completely stomping MCES.
Well, the best laid plans of mice and men often go astray, and the hit or miss that we predicted for MCES seems to be tilting further and further into the miss category. Another 2-star and dropping even further in percentage now. We saw some, dissent in the chat among the fans of Aphelion Esports saying, there might have only been 19% of us expressing confidence for the Japanese squad, but this is a team that is consistent, that's already picked up a win today, and that is just showing us exactly ABC Clash of Clans top level, but by the books, with ring bases, this is not the craziest thing to expect. I don't know if MCES just weren't prepared to kind of handle these 2-star setups, or I don't know what's going wrong on the French side of this battlefield.
It's puzzling, isn't it? It almost seems that way, because typically what we see against these ring bases is maybe a blizzard to cut it apart. We often see a P.E.K.K.A smash where you charge the queen in towards the central ring and use the P.E.K.K.A around the outside. They haven't really gone for any of that, and whilst we sometimes see the Super Witches used against them, I will say that the Super Witch is one attack I have seen multiple times against these bases where sometimes it works and other times it just ends in a devastating 2-star, as we've just seen there. So Aphelion Esports with a commanding lead at this point, huge percentage, a star as well. So MCES need essentially 2 defenses here and 2 3-stars if they want to win this. Let's find out what Aphelion have up their sleeve, though. Can they all but guarantee it?
Zapquake Lala will start for that really big target we were worried about earlier, the single target Inferno. Adjacent to the Town Hall, with the Giga Inferno to pop out there, can cause a lot of problems for the end stage of an attack. So the strike here from Lightning signals to me that Choco is ready to just kind of clean up all those big anti-air defenses kind of in the core of the base next to that Archer Queen early on in this raid, and then try to move on toward the top side later. The Queen herself is going to get the Town Hall down with a CC pull of rocket loons. Whoa, they are coming out fast, but first star is still already claimed. Those 2 air defenses are very poorly protected along the top side, and Choco should be able to get both of those down with just these heroes.
Yeah, Archer Queen does fall and hasn't really done anything to the Clan Castle troops as of yet. Royal Champion just helping where the Barbarian King left off, should be able to get that scatter shot down. Down it goes, and she will shortly move to the air defense. Nice invisibility there to catch the Royal Champion, thinking she would go to the air defense, but due to the Clan Castle troops, is pulled to the left. So ends up being not a good invisibility spell after all.
Yeah, that was an awkward follow-up from the Royal Champion. I don't know whether that air defense is going to be enough to stop, though, because even when some little tiny things can go wrong, you can still recover, and Choco, with his Stone Slammer to commit to the top corner of this base, still seems to have a lot of firepower. Freezes out to shut down the multi-Inferno. He's still holding on to 2 more, so even with an additional multi that's barreling away at them at the top side, he can shut that off as soon as he finds it most distracting and damaging. Lava Hound up in the top corner has already made it to the air defense, and it looks like the pups themselves are going to be able to finish it off.
He is giving us the thumbs up, feeling confident at this stage. He's still got 50 seconds, so many balloons, and you see the Wizard Tower now does fall at the very top of the base. Eagle Artillery even locked onto the Dragon Rider, so won't do any damage to his balloon parade, which cruises on past the MCES clan castle. Lava Pups and minions will destroy that, just like the MCES clan, who are all but out of the World Championships now, as Aphelion Esports move on forward with another 3-star.
It has just gotten worse and worse for MCES, while Aphelion ascendant now with 3 stars back to back to back. The tic-tac-toe start for Aphelion is so hard to counter when you've missed 2 triples of your own, and this is just going to be a point of despondency for MCES. Crestfallen at the big drop in hopes right out the gate. It's not even a war that's going down to the very end. It seems like it's all over before it even began.
Well, it just seems like the bases of Aphelion have really knocked them, and this is what I expected. A Blizzard attacks against these bases. I know that Arium likes the Blizzard Lalo anyway, so these bases actually lend themselves to him, but you see that invisibility spell initially for the Lava Hound. Battle Blimp getting all of the way to the center. There was a giant bomb though. Ooh, it was just a single giant bomb, so he's able to get through that. Super Wizards still chaining, aiming for the Town Hall.
That is some incredible Blizzard power, and all of the invisibility spells committed to keep it alive for the start. A super heavy beginning for Arium, and that is, just like you mentioned before, when we see a ring base, Blizzard cutting through is an ideal start, and with it going off without basically a hitch, Arium can be very happy about the follow-up now for this double Lava Hound hit. Can they start to salvage this somehow, bring that star count up to 10, and hope for a defense on the last round from Aphelion?
I mean, they would pretty much need a 1-star defense, to be honest. They are so far behind on percentage, but all they can do is put up the 3 stars. And this is what I was talking about the Blizzard. Notice how it is just ripped apart the center of the base. The value he will be able to get from his heroes is going to be huge because they can all stick together. He knows where they will move across this side. They could just use Lalo to finish off. I mean, he could probably barch the back end of this base. That is the type of value he has got from the Blizzard, but playing it safe, wanting to make sure they give MCES the best opportunity. 1-stars happen, and they need to have confidence in their defense. But here comes the Lava Loon from the north.
It's going to be a triple multi-target Inferno in the core of this space, still protected though. Can't get a double freeze in the multi-Infernos, and so you can really only get one of them at a time. Kind of low value on the freezes, but still has to do it nonetheless, because if you don't shut down a multi-Inferno, it can annihilate loons. They're going to spread out though, and it looks like even though most of them are going to go on the loop around, a few of them are going to be left there still in the center. Just at this point, it is such an overwhelming, crushing victory. I am shocked. Like you said, he could have barched the back end if he really wanted to. No style points for MCES, but nonetheless an overwhelming shutdown here. And congratulations to Arium for grabbing that 3-star. It is still looking very heavily favored toward Aphelion Esports here. But hey, man, when they strike hard.
They certainly do. I don't think he lost a single balloon in that attack. He had so many left over at the end. And that's kind of what I expected from the opening attacks, to see Blizzard attacks maybe I'm not sure. I'm really just puzzled on the approach to those bases we've seen from MCES, and they have to hope now that it is a 1-star defense. What do they do here, Woody? Do they play it safe with the 2-star? Do they go for the 3 stars, knowing that QSFN got the 15 stars? I personally don't think they should try and set off any type of message. They should just get themselves to the final. But generally speaking, even when you're going for the 3-star, you can play it safe somewhat and not have to adjust your plan too much.
Yeah, this is definitely a 2-star attempt. For me, in this sort of situation, when a 2-star gets you to the finals with an opportunity for a golden ticket, you don't make any risky plays at all. You keep your little battle blimp just tucked away in your pocket and ready to just shut down the town hall if anything even slightly goes wrong. The safe 2-star is it's going to be a pretty easy grab because the town hall isn't very well protected on this base. Instead, it's of course trying to prevent the triple, but instead Tryhard is not going to get, I think, much of any hope in preventing Kazuma from getting that 2-star with a lock now there from the Archer Queen on the alleyway just adjacent to the town hall. The 1st star is claimed, and 50% is not very high of a hurdle to set for him at this point.
Yeah, and the fact that the town hall is down means he has the rest of this army. I do think he needs, I want to say maybe about the 65% to guarantee it, given how far they are in the lead. Maybe a little bit higher than that, perhaps the 70%. But either way, with the town hall down and a full army ahead of him, he's already halfway to that margin. Stone Slammer is nicely just drifting on towards that ground expo and will then be able to shift to the sweeper and single target inferno. Should actually be able to get that down, and the fact that he knows the tornado trap is now gone is a bonus. Even if they don't get the single, which they do, he knows that the Lalo is free from the red air bombs and the tornado trap. But look at the percentage, Woody. It's getting ever close to that guaranteed victory for Aphelion Esports.
Oh yeah, this is already open and shut. I don't care what happens at this point. Every single balloon could run into an air bomb. Even the cleanup from the outer edge minions would be enough. Kazuma is holding on for hopes to get the triple, and I think that those hopes will be rewarded as he paths towards the backside, drops the freeze, haste, one more invis left to deploy. Just a scatter shot trying to shut down, but with the Eternal Tome already popped, at least the life aura from the Grand Warden can keep those loons safe, and this is going to be an open and shut case. Kazuma, the detective, has identified the weakness, exploited it to maximum effect, and Tryhard has been convicted. Aphelion Esports advance to the finals today.
QSFN wait in the wings, so it will be Brazil versus Japan in the finals here today. Still an attack from the French team of MCES, so let's see what they have in store for us. We know how good of a team they are. They always impress us, and if one man from their team impresses more than any others, you'd have to say that it is Sinthe with his Mass Hogs, Skelly Donut Lalo, whatever he has in store for us. He can purely just lay it all out on the table for style points because Aphelion Esports have already guaranteed that victory.
Right you are, Judo, and it's classic MCES to backload their heaviest attackers with their most interesting plans and beautiful designs. So although it is going to be a loss for MCES, it is still our gain to be able to watch Cynthia in action. The final French attacker, can he get a triple with Mass Dragon?
Interesting, a nice approach to these anti-2-star style bases, actually, because with the clones, you could get huge value. I'm guessing the multi-target Infernos and Eagle up there towards the north. In fact, he could get really good value to the south of the Town Hall either way. With the clone, he should be able to push onto multiple of the defenses. But what he's trying to do right now is just carve a path with his heroes either side so that the dragons have a clear shot through the base. Doesn't quite get the air defense down to the west of the base there with the Archer Queen, which I'm guessing he might have wanted, but the Barbarian King should be able to get the air defense down towards the south.
Judo, just give me a primer real quick on why someone would want to bring two clone spells to an attack like this.
So when he has balloons in the Battle Blimp, he can basically clone the balloons around the Town Hall, and essentially they will just push to all of the defenses. We have seen clans use up to 4 clone spells, depending on how tightly compact the base is. But you can essentially clone across the sides of the Town Hall in order to take it down, or even behind the Town Hall, given that the clone will clone the cloned troops, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Double clones.
There we go.
Cloneception for Cynthia. Right in the core. The rage is popping off. The balloons make their way to the bottom one. Ooh. Multi is getting pounded, but barely goes down. Still, although he cut this base in half, the 2 halves that still remain are pretty fearsome for just one lone dragon to have to handle.
I have to say, I'm surprised that he sent the dragons direct into the Town Hall. Normally what we will see with this type of attack is flying the dragons around the ring with the Battle Blimp towards the center and the clone there. So it's an interesting play that he sent all of the dragons towards that poison, knowing that they would have to go through that towards the back end. Maybe he just felt he could actually pick off the air defense, and only with a couple of archer towers he'd have enough to power through. But I definitely think it's an interesting choice to fly everything to that Giga Poison, knowing how devastating it is. And it's just even more crushing for MCES. It just has not been their day today, and Aphelion Esports will be walking away with the victory, and only one more required to get their golden ticket.
It was a season for the fall of man, the one ring to rule them all. Defenses for Aphelion Esports are impenetrable. 14 stars earned by them to the 12 from MCES, and over